Hi, it takes so many. Hi everyone. I'm here with Sherry. Is it? Hi Jimmy.
everyone.
Hi BTS Dance Studio. Wow. So you can see here, guys. Guess what? Cherry is finally here. I say that actually, in Chicago, it's one of the biggest North Korean communities here. So not that many North Koreans in America, right? Like around 200 people. And in Chicago only, there are at least 15 of us are here. Literally.
That's kind of a lot for us.
That's the thing, like for when we talk about Persians, the Russian Jews, Cuban community, they're like 1 million of them. But we're like 15. That's so many.
That's so many.
So in Chicago, nearby in Illinois, around 15 North Koreans, and like for us, like this is the biggest community we can find. Anyway, guys, Sherry is here with me. We just made a really wonderful video about discussing daily life in North Korea. I hope that you check that out. But today I brought Sherry because I'm sure you've been sick of me seeing me only.
I don't think so.
So I have Sherry. But by the way, guys, is this audio okay? We are not using microphones, so if the audio isn't okay, just let us know. Anyway, so today you can ask any questions, but for the first question, Border asks, is she single? Yeah, Sherry is single. All the single ladies here. Thank you for letting me know, but the audio is great. Thank you for that. I love you guys. I know this is a Monday, I'm sure. Today, usually the Mondays are low energy. However, we are fighters. We work very hard on Mondays. So thank you for joining this live despite your work schedule, wherever you are. Hey, Brent. This is my Patreon, guys. Thank you for all my Patreons for supporting me, so I can continue making these videos and giving a platform to people like Sherry. So Brent asked, how you both so cool? Sherry is cool. And so the reason why I'm bringing Sherry is, of course, I'm gonna give you opportunity to ask from different voice any question you wanna ask today. And also Sherry, last time you wanna thank the people, right, who helped you with your fundraising for your mother. So to update what happened, Sherry's mom recently got breast cancer. And we did a fundraiser, and of course so many people contributed, but still they need more help. But the surgery was successful, right?
Yeah.
So how's the mom doing now?
After surgery, now she has been taking the cancer treatment, and few weeks ago she had some side effects. So yeah, but the doctor gave her just shot for like hormone and other side effects. So yeah, she's doctor said my mom is not very positive. So this is all thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. So she will. The doctor said she will cure, recover. Yeah, fast.
Yeah, because of her positive attitude.
Attitude.
That's wonderful. I remember my father too. I know we shared that together. My father passed away from the cancer in China too. He never lost hope. That's the thing. Like, I'm so weak. Everything, like little thing happens, I'm like get panicked and I think the world is ending.
Right.
But like he was so strong. Like he was so strong, and I think that's one thing I got from my parents. Like North Korean people are so strong. Despite the challenge of life, they always maintain positivity.
Yeah. So
And
all North Korean parents are very strong, and at this time, I really thanked. I was very thankful to my mom. Like when she before the surgery, right? She has to go. She had to go in the surgery room by alone, and
I was coronavirus.
Yeah. So I was waiting outside, and I felt like so sorry for my mom. And then after surgery, I asked my mom, how would you feel, right? How did you feel? And she said I just pray for you.
Oh,
In case I cannot wake up, I just you are single and I'm very worried about
Oh.
you. Yeah.
I know. So here's another project happening. We need to get Cherry married soon. So okay, let's answer Melara. Is how I say your name? Thank you so much. So prayers for both of you for the Sims and knuckleheads are out in full force. Somebody gotta explain that term to us. So Kobe, Kelly, thank you. High five for your mom.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, so Cherry we are on some mission now, right? So we talked about this. We are coming from very conservative culture where usually men had a traditional role, right? They would take care of your family, and the women's role is taking care of family and raise children. And we talked about how like we got shocked. Even myself, like I came here where of course like this all this like equality, feminism, we were like really shocked at how American, not generalizing, but a lot of them were afraid of commitment
Right.
and not trying to commit. And in North Korea, when we meet somebody, it is in the condition of marriage.
Right.
But like in America, they like divide people like this dating material, this like marriage material,
Right.
and we both got so shocked.
Oh.
So maybe for fun in the beginning, what was your like biggest shock about American dating?
Oh.
So they can be honest. No worries.
Like first time, like split the bill, right?
Oh, the Dutch pay.
Dutch pay.
Right, like
So-
you split the like dinner,
So-
like
in North Korea, North Korean men usually like they want to like show up like I'm the man.
Yeah, I
I'm going to
can take
take
care of you.
yeah, I can take care of you. I'm going to take care of you like that. So first time I told my ex, you know what? I cannot. This is a little bit culture shock for me. So okay, I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna treat you dinner, and next time you gonna treat me. That's for
We
me.
take the
It's still
turn.
take the time. Like for me, like I can. It feels so weird for
so
me.
awkward. Isn't it so awkward? Like what do you mean, like right?
Are we really like a girlfriend and boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah, that's so true. So that was like and then there are a lot of shocks. So here, Andrew, thank you. Oh, best wishes to your mom. Thank you, Andrew. Okay, so that Dutch pay. I mean, it got shocked to me, but the thing is, guys, I'm so sorry to be like so opinionated on this. I mean, at least the first date, I think guys should pay. A second date, I can pay for sure.
Now I've changed it.
Really?
Like I have been here like for so long, but it took many years to understand the culture.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing like I still like the femininity. I think there are people who don't like the femininity. That's completely fine. That's their individual thing. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it being feminine, right? Like now here, if you are very girly, it's almost like a sign of weakness. They will ask you to be a strong woman, but then strong can look very different and I'm very traditionalist, right? That's the thing. I still want the men to open the door. I mean, I want to open the door too if I can. But now it's like all about equality. That's sometimes. Do you think? Is it
like men take like I like men take care of me. Like of
Right.
course I do like some other ways and
Right.
of course, but still for me like I don't know, I'm like very conservative
Right.
and traditional way of loving was a different.
We are brainwashed.
we were brainwashed.
We're so brainwashed. And then the thing, I have tried everything I could like to become more Western, but like I still like that, the traditional thing. Like when guys like here now, that American culture don't even ask you out. They're like so shy, right? But like I still like they can like ask you, may I take you out for on date? and like maybe come pick you up on the first day
Mm.
and maybe buy you flower. But then if you asking for these things, it's so weak. I don't know. It's something is wrong with it. But anyway, so here. Roman F, so great to see both of you here together. Keep up the fight. We all right behind. Thank you so much. So yeah, that was about dating. So anyway, so other challenge. Let's go through other. Oh, may I take her out on date? Mason, that's so kind of you. So Ken Murphy photography. Hey, good to see you. Two super amazing women, so exceptional. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see. You guys, it's your time to ask anything from Cherry, so don't be shy. Totally not tradition where okay. So traditional is still the way. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, Kim hacking. The United Nations possibly invade North Korea to stop this mass murder. Okay, so this is a good question. Morgoth from Engban? I don't know. Should the United Nations possibly invade North Korea to stop this mass murder? So, Sherry, I mean, this is my question for you, right? North Korea's problem almost the last 80 years. You have seen the first and so much suffering. Like our parents, ourselves, we've been suffering a lot. What do you think? Do you think the U.S. should invade and should get rid of Kim Jong-un and free the people? Or what do you think the solution for North Korean problem from your perspective?
From my perspective, actually, like when I was in North Korea, my dad used to tell me like, this country is corrupted by the dictator and top elites, and he said there's no way to be free North Korean people, but only way if America interfere this situation or start to war against the North Korea. But also he said like, but there's no reason America start against the war against North Korea because he said like, I don't know, but his view was like America, when they start a war against the other countries, there's some reason, always you have some reason to do that, but he said North Korea, like there's no reason.
Your father was really exceptional. So this is also my thing, right? There's no way right now the people can rise up because they have no guns, they have no food, they are so weak, they don't even know what's happening outside the world, and we all know that easiest way to get rid of a system is a U.S. intervention, and at least talking to Chinese government, right? But then it's like, what's there for the U.S. to gain from? So this is another question for you. Now you're American, right? You're an American citizen. Do you think that does America have a responsibility to stand up for justice and stand up for human rights? Or do you think America should be just doing everything they could to take care of our own citizens? What do you think responsibility for the American government to do?
I cannot say like it's a responsibility to do, because there's no responsibility at all, because it's a land like totally America is there's no responsibility. But in humanity, when we think in that way, it's not only America but international community, other countries, Europe should involve this situation in North Korea and interfere, I think it's not only America but other European countries can gather together and interfere in North Korean situation. I think we can make it better.
I mean, to me, it's that too. Like literally, the United Nations says, what is happening in North Korea is a modern day Holocaust, right? Well, it is true that invading North Korea is gonna endanger Seoul. It's gonna endanger our allies, right? It is a very complicated problem. That does not mean we gotta ignore the Holocaust. And what always keeps me up at night is that when nobody is free on this earth, right? Like it is so possible right now with direction that America is taking, the infiltration of this Marxism in this country and communism. America can be totally become like China and North Korea one day. Then who's gonna speak for us? If we don't speak for the people who are oppressed as free people right now, we cannot expect people fight for our rights, our freedom when we are oppressed here.
Yeah.
And that's why it is important for us to take care of each other, fight for each other's freedom, because when we lose our freedom, then we can count on somebody else. And then the fact that we are fighting for animals' rights, that because they cannot fight for their rights, like animals cannot talk and negotiate, right, and tell us what they want. And I think humans, I know like I have seen there's so much darkness in humanity, but I also saw the best side of humanity, that we can be compassionate, we can be selfless, we can do the things that is noble and virtuous. The fact that America had a God before, it had a religion, and that religion taught us how to be virtuous, how to be fighting for the glory of, it doesn't have to be the God, the Christian God, but glory of something better, right? Betterment of humanity. And seeing in America is also all about it's all about like, what does it do for me? And of course, like now Americans like, why do I have to care about North Korean people? It doesn't do anything for me, right? And it is true for sure. But then like we can go big. I mean, that's what grace is. That's what bigger than is. And I think seeing that humanity losing the grace of God, I think that's what really hurts my heart. That it's life is not all about you. It's not all about just like your needs.
Right. It's like still like I've been here like for so long. Sometimes like when I think about North Korea, it's just unbelievable. Like how like still it's a cruel, thing happening in North Korea on this earth, this century. So, and I think it's nobody's responsibility, but like North Korea is totally just controlled by the dictator, and their people are suffering like us ordinary people are suffering there, and like they need actually the help from outside the North Korea, and if we don't help them, then it's my opinion, like it's if we have in that situation, who's gonna help for us?
Right, exactly. And the thing is that literally the problem in America right now we're having is having too much. Literally the obesity is the biggest problem, they say, right? Like they say more than 40% of Americans are too like obese. And to me is that we are in a place where we can afford to care about other people, right? Like here the abundance became a problem. People got too many choices, and I think like that we have a technology to go to the Mars, we have a technology to go to the moon. Then why are we not giving that 1% of energy we spend to explore the universe? We exploring freeing our Earth, which is North Korea. So I think that's the thing. It's not like blaming or that we are coming from a bitter place. That the fact that the world hasn't done anything for North Korean people is because I think it is because of CCP. Nobody knew what really was happening. As I said, right, there are only about over 200 North Korean defectors made it to America for the last 80 years. That's like ridiculous, right? I mean, like literally, and only America started accepting North Korean defectors since 2007.
2007.
Guys, can you believe that? This country is talking about, like right now with the Biden, they're all about our America, you're gonna open the door for the vulnerable who is like being persecuted. They did not open the door for North Korean people until 2007. But even now, America not shut down the door again, but like they're only accepting 1 or 2 people each year from North Korea. Like, if North Korean defectors do not deserve a shelter in America, then who else does? Right? This is making no sense. The refugee law, this law exists to protect, giving opportunity for the people who are persecuted. But this is a hypocrisy of America's immigration system. that we only accepted over 200 people. It's unbelievable. But the thing is, like, American people don't know about the hypocrisy of this American system and this like refugee crisis. Sorry guys, I'm missing so many questions, but I'm gonna go through as much as I can to all of them. Thank you, DIEZ by order Yeonmi. I wish you health and success this for 2021. You bring the hope to the world. Thank you so much. And mustard seed. That's a cute emoji. Thank you, mustard seed. I don't know what's your name, but thank you. Here, David. The relationship between China and the DPRK seems one-sided. I can see how the DPRK benefits, but what does China get out of the deal? That's a good question. So CCP is the Chinese Communist Party, right? Chinese government. They get a lot out of it. So North Korea became a tool, a negotiation tool, as a leverage when the CCP talks with America. So America knows, right? Only way to talk about North Korean problem, they have to talk to Chinese. So Chinese get a huge stake in it. Not only that, it's gonna be a buffer zone. And China is not free. It's a still communist party in a one-party system. Is a very oppressive system. Right next their door, there is South Korea and Japan, and behind across the ocean there's America. So the China knows as long as they're using the North Korea as a buffer zone, not the wave of democracy and freedom come to their door, they can maintain that stability. So North Korea is a negotiation tool when they discuss with North America. Second is also the buffer zone. And third is China gets a lot of resources from North Korea. I'm not sure about Haeryong, but in Haesan, a lot of the coal mining towns were landed to China for like 50 years, 200 years, right? Like the Gwangshan, where like all the Chinese come and then they take all the resources from us. So in a way, China owns North Korea right now, like everything. All the resources, the trees, you know, the core, all the natural everything,
resources.
they take it from North Korea for like literally nothing. So in a way, I mean, what a cheap way of getting for them to get a resource and digging just North Korean land and the people suffering there. So there's a lot of benefit for CCP to support North Korean regime. So Paola, where is that? I have such a heavy heart for the North Korean people. What is the best charity to be involved with, donate to? Also, do either of you ascribe to a faith, because you are both miracles? Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So the charity I recommend is called Now. There's a video that I made about how to help North Korea. Do you know like Now? Yeah, they do the rescue work. And do you have any NGO you recommend?
Rescue.
No, it doesn't matter. Any non-profit that works for
the
North
only NGO that I know in the US is Link.
Okay, yeah. So they also do another rescue. And so about the faith, right? I know I go to church. I mean, I make sure that my son goes to church. I know it's very bad of me, but I do make sure that it's so important right now in this age where America, right? What was shocking to me is that in America, like, the tradition was lost, right? Like in North Korea, we had those like manners at least, like the table manner, you know, like we eat all together, like we had those kind of mannerism. And when I came to America, like in a way, everything was okay. Nothing is wrong. Nobody can do it, especially when it comes to kids, like everything is okay. And I think it's good to have some boundaries, like for him to learn in church that lying is bad, right? Hate is bad, love is good, and it sounds like so basic, but in America I felt like the basic was so missing, and I want him to find that in church. What about you? Like you told me yours to go to church.
Yeah, especially my mom and my sister, yeah, they go to church.
Yeah.
Every Sunday and other service they do.
You told me like that last time we talked that it really helped them to overcome so much hardship in America, right? Like even your sister came at a young age, and mom, life wasn't easy in America, obviously, but they found a lot of strength from having a faith.
Yeah.
So
That's why I think they started going to church. I
Right.
think.
And then like, it's interesting. North Koreans, they become the Christians. The most Christians, right, are North Korean defectors. It's interesting though, right? Like I don't know why.
That's interesting actually.
It's like in South Korea too. You meet all North Koreans. They all believers. They all became like believers. And something about no wonder why I don't know why Americans don't want the North Korean refugees, but we do become Christians in a very high percent rate. So Sarma, thank you, dear ladies. How would you define freedom? Wow. So Sherry, how would you define freedom?
Define freedom.
What is the
Freedom meant for me?
mean for you? Yeah.
When I was in North Korea, I didn't know the word freedom, but always deep in my inside, deep in heart, I was seeking for freedom, right? So after I escaped from North Korea, I realized for me the freedom meant is freedom of movement. Like you cannot live, but you cannot live is the I think that's the definition right. So
you cannot like leave North Korea, right?
Yeah.
Like they put the wire
you
fences.
cannot live there, but you cannot leave.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, right, freedom, there's many different, like freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association, freedom of religion, and of course like these things we did not know. When I was literally risking my life for freedom, back then freedom meant for me was watching K-dramas and wearing jeans as a teenage girl, right? Like we never had that freedom, so I thought like, okay, freedom means I can wear jeans, I can watch like K-drama, the romantic TV shows, and obviously freedom means different thing right now. It's like I mean, without freedom, I don't think I'm not even a human being, right? Your life is worse than being an animal. Like you said, when I was in North Korea, when I trapped in that hell, like I looked at the like birds, right? We all do the North Koreans looking at the birds. I mean, for you guys, like birds, how can they be better than us human beings? But like for us, for me was that, I mean, bird life is better than me. He got more free than me, more rights than me. Like he can just fly to China.
Right.
Like as a human being, I cannot do that because I'm a human being. And this is the thing, like when you don't have a freedom, your life means nothing. Like your life, like that means like less valuable than even a mere worm or mere bird. And I think this is why, like in America, when I see these people, in the name of what, like public safety or whatever the reason, let's get rid of some of our freedom, give it to the government, so we can have the what they say now, right? It breaks my heart. Like they do not understand the value of freedom. Like you cannot imagine life without freedom.
Right.
And this is the thing. Like right now, look at Australia, the lockdowns. You cannot even go outside. You have to put this mask on. Like you have to be a slave now. And imagine that, like million times more of that oppression in North Korea. What life would that be? So, of course, like freedom means a lot of things.
A lot, but especially like when I was in the villa working for the government, right? And like it wasn't like it didn't make sense. Well, like I felt just like I was in prison, but I want to get out of the villa, but I can't.
Right.
They said that's illegal. Why? I was. That's why, just forget about that. I'm going to escape this villa and then once I escaped from the villa, I became a criminal. So once I came to the US first time, the most amazing thing for me, like I cannot fly around the world with the passport.
I know. I was like, I always envy the birds, right? Because they can go anywhere. And now, when I'm flying, I'm freer than birds, right? And that's the thing. Like, freedom is the most important thing, the most precious thing. Than anything that you own, anything than your life. Literally, it's not just cliche words that say like freedom is the most precious thing. It literally is. And it's so sad. Like we have seen this like life without freedom and seeing in America how they just take it for so granted. It boils me in my blood. I'm like, you know what you have. This is the most amazing thing you've got, and you're ready to throw it away. And it's just so bad. You guys are here. You know the value of freedom, and I think that's why you care about North Korean people and supporting us to do this mission. I know, guys. I'm very slowing at the. I'm very. As you can see, this is my life. Do you know how? So Andreas, do you know of how COVID is in North Korea? Do you talk to people in North Korea now, Jerry?
No,
No,
I
no,
can't because my aunt right now she's in serious condition because she was sent to prison.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, now since the last year, I couldn't contact them.
So it's pretty bad if you get a COVID in the beginning. You might they literally send you these detention centers like a concentration camp, and then they don't even give you medicine or even the food. So if you don't have money, you die. But the thing is, they don't even have a test kit. So as long as if you have fever and cough, even though it could be totally flu or cold, they take you. And it became another tool for the regime to gain more power and control people and oppress people. It is so sad, like how whenever this kind of event happens, it's an opportunity for the state to gain more power. And of course, we see that in America, in everywhere in the world, and of course, no exception to North Korean regime. So when is I say? So how do you think no one in the regime has stood up against Kim Jong-un? They must have a conscience, or are they brainwashed to believe Kim Jong-un is a god? What do you think that? I mean, so this thing is guys, there has been uprisings. There has been attempts to kill Kim Jong-il. Like the Yongsan-pokpo, like a lot of instances did happen to kill, but they were not successful, and they don't become on news. North Korean people did their best to fight back, and of course some of them are brainwashed, and some of them know they are not brainwashed by Kim Jong-un. He's been studying in Switzerland, but they know that if the system collapses, right, they cannot be the royalty anymore. That the system designed to give a privilege to the top people, right? Like North Korea, even though began as a communism, it's the most unequal society right now. There's like the birth class, and because of that, the elite has been winning in this system, and that's why they are maintaining it. But I think, what do you think that like your father was elite, but he knew, right? Do you think that North Korean elites are compliant because they are brainwashed, or because they are just scared, or because they think this is better for them?
We cannot just say one because of this fact. You know, I think it's a whole North Korean system that made people to like. I think it's a ordinary people. I don't know, but elites they are real aware of that. But it's North Korean system. It's hard to gather.
It's so fragmented. They divide every single thing. We don't know what's going on. Yeah, that is the thing. There's one tactic they do is that dividing people, separating people, isolating people. And like now with the COVID, right? On this lockdown, we are all becoming isolated. And North Korea does the exact same tactic to isolating people. And so it's really hard to generalizing for sure.
Even like as all North Korean people, we know how dangerous you speak like you blame about the Kim regime, right? So even children, we actually every day we watch our mouth, what we are saying, and we need to be careful.
Right.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to gather and they have a conspiracy about.
So what do you think, Sherry, now, like in North Korea, speech is so dangerous thing. What you say can get you like 3 generations of your family get killed or sent to prison camp. Now in America, there's things called like a hate speech. People say like, let's not let the people who are hateful speak out. Let's not let the racist to speak. Like there's a like new movement in America saying like there is no room for hate speech, right? Are you concerned, or like what do you think about that?
for me, it's like that's the beginning. I think it's just that's the at least what you whatever you blame the president of the United States or whatever, that's the actually the freedom of speech, right? And if we as you said, you know, I don't know, it's a hate
speech.
Hate speech. That's the actually beginning of the going in the
direction of North Korea.
Yeah. Direction of
this
North
is
Korea.
so thing like North Korean get it. We grew up not knowing what freedom of speech meant, but now we get it. In America, these people being in freedom and don't get this, right? Like when I go to American University, meeting American people, like young people especially, they're like, of course we should never let the hateful speech to be said. And like, do you know who decides what is hateful speech? Today it might be hateful, tomorrow it might not be. It's such a dangerous route that we are going to saying like, let's silence people who do not have the, you know, most like kind message or something. And I think I don't get it why people who grew up in freedom not getting this, the most basic, the common sense. This is the thing, like whenever I'm like in America, the common sense is not working. And I know they say like I'm a white supremacist, like I'm not even white, what does that even mean? You know, it's just and it's let's see, so David, so did Sherry escape North Korea using the same route as Yeonmi? Was Yeonmi's book a motivational factor in why Sherry escaped? Is reading her book is illegal in North Korea? So Dave, thank you for your support. So Sherry escaped before me, and she came to America way earlier than me. I have a video, we had a video, I will link it. We had a long video before, so you can see her unbelievable story of her escape. And but in North Korea, right, like, I mean, there's no way they can hear about us. Like, I mean, there's no internet. The reason we'll never ever talk about what I'm doing here, what we are doing. So North Korean people have no clue for sure. So let's see. I know, guys, we have missed so many questions, but before we go, I'm gonna answer last 2 more questions, and then we're gonna close this live. But thank you for participating. I know this is a Monday, but all your support and your love. So let's answer 2 last questions. Amy asked, no. And let's keep going so fast up. So what? I mean, before that, so Sherry is having your YouTube channel. Sherry, what kind of videos are you making there?
I'm making video. Bring the plight of North Koreans. Like we are all witness, and if we don't speak up, who's gonna speak about the reality in North Korea? So I'm making videos of the reality in North Korea based on my story and my experience.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's just a thing, like the, in a way, as much as I complain about the tech media and censorship, internet did some good, like giving us the platform. Before we had to wait for the New York Times to call us to ask about what we saw, right? But now we don't have to wait for the mainstream to call us. We can just like talk to the people and really let the world know what's happening. So in that way, I am thankful for Google for the first time today. Thank you, Google. So what do North Koreans think about Lithuania? Okay, I've been there, but I don't know how to pronounce it, so sorry. Did you know about Lithuania, or did you not know?
No.
See, exactly, even though you went to special high school, in North Korea, they don't really teach us about the world, right? Did you know about Africa?
Africa, it's a...
Did you know different continents?
I knew, but the thing is that they teach the word in textbook. We have the Africa, but the thing is they don't really teach specific region and countries, and then also like the part where like not the really good side of the countries, right? And teach like bad side of the democracy, and also when we graduated from high school, no way to learn about outside North Korea.
Right.
That's why usually usually people don't forget about.
Wow. Okay. So
Even though we learned, we don't remember.
Okay. So elite people I know, like they learn everything, but for me, like I never even knew what Australia was. Did you know what Australia was?
I don't remember Australia, but some countries, European countries, France and
Like UK
and Africa, I cannot really remember the specific countries, right?
Wow. So did you give you vague, brief mention? Though there's a world outside exists, but they don't really tell you how they look like, the system like that. I mean, like of course, like all day long, I learned about the horribleness of the capitalism, right? Like the Sokobyeongdun, like the corrupt, poisonous, the capitalism, and how everybody wants to come to North Korea. How we are the envious subject for everybody, like everybody envious of us, that we are living in such a good paradise. But of course, yeah. Sorry guys, I mean for me, like I never heard of anything other than like China, Russia, and South Korea, but that's pretty much all I knew about.
Yeah, because Yeonmi, you don't, because children in high school we learned after, like there's a total 6 years high school, right?
Yeah.
So after like 4 years they started teaching world map. But the thing is, most North Korean children, if you don't work, we don't become like how can I say, it's a diplomatic. Diplomat. Then there's no way you can use that knowledge, right? So you actually usually easily forget.
Yeah. I mean, like even you learn about, let's say, Canada, you are never gonna hear them ever again about it. Exactly. So that's exactly. I didn't even know what Canada was. Yeah, it's the thing. Like I never knew what Canada. So now I'm living in Chicago. Never knew what Chicago was. Right?
That's the thing.
Never heard about Chicago in my life. It's so, I know it's in a way, like I feel like we are coming from some kind of different planet, right? And telling to the Earth, like the humans, like what the different planet looks like, and it's so hard to describe it. But guys, thank you for being patient with us, and all your love, all your support today. Please, I will put that Sherry's mother's fundraising is still going on. She just had a surgery. She's recovering. I hope you can, in any way, if you can support her mother's treatment, you can. And follow her on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Sherry Yang.
Sherry Yang. Okay. I will put that link as well.
Thank
And
you.
also follow her YouTube channel. But thank you guys for, if you really support what I do, please join my Patreon and the lockers. And I look forward to keep fighting with you for freedom everywhere in this world. I really think that freedom can be threatened anywhere, and that we see in America right now how fragile this freedom is, how this is only one generation away. So I'm grateful for you in this journey, and we wish a wonderful week ahead. Love you guys.
Thank you.
And see you soon. And leave all your questions for Sherry. I'm gonna bring her back so you can answer more your questions. Love you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Love you guys.